All right, gentlemen, we've got a question today to take today. What's the benefit of training with a polymer striker fired pistol over a higher quality gun like a 2011? Will training with a worse gun make you better with a better gun? Okay, so first, I know that I might almost offend some of you what this guy's saying, that it's just obvious that certain guns are better, but well, we won't argue with that. So let's say here's the 2011 I have with me right now is this Kimber. All right, it's look at the I mean look at the trigger travel. It's not much travel. It's not very heavy. The gun is a little bit heavier than a normal polymer gun. It's going to be accurate. Yeah, like this is a pretty easy gun to shoot fast and accurate. All right. Here is what he's talking about. Polymer striker fired gun. This M&P, like, yeah, you can shoot it fast and accurate, maybe just as fast and accurate as the Kimber, but it takes a little bit more work. The trigger has more travel. It's heavier. The gun is lighter weight. It's not going to soak up the recoil as much and right on down the line. Can I do the same things with this gun? Yeah, probably, but it's going to take more work. I would say. So what he's saying here is, what is the benefit of training with a polymer striker fired pistol over a higher quality gun like a 2011? Now, what I'd say is true for most people. Like, I don't know what percentage of the population this is true for, but for most people, they're going to kind of shoot to the level of their environment, of what's around them. So if you take some guy and you put him in a group of really good shooters that are way better than him, he's gonna like be pulled up by being around that and seeing that, and oh, these guys over here are kicking my ass at shooting, and it's a natural thing. It will make them better. Um, that's one thing that I've definitely observed with shooting. And I think it's the same, it works in reverse too. So it's like if you're shooting better than other people, you kind of take it easy. Most people, most personalities, like if they're doing better than everyone around them, they're gonna kind of chill out. So that's what I've noticed when it comes to especially the 2011s, is that there'll be somebody gets a 2011 and they'll come over from a polymer, like a polymer striker fired pistol, and then it just becomes easier to do the same thing that they were already doing. Like at the same pace of shooting, that kind of thing, they can just shoot better, right? Because the gun's making it a little bit easier. And then the way that they're measuring themselves, like probably doesn't change. So like in their head, they just get a different gun. They kind of automatically shoot a little bit better. It's just the trigger's easier, the gun's heavier. Some things about it make life easy. And then they think like, oh, okay. Then they've gotten better. And then from that point, I see most will kind of degrade. So they'll effectively what I'm saying is you get a 2011, you keep doing the same practice you've been doing, or you're in the same environment that you were in before. You go from striker fired pistol to 2011, and then people tend to get a little bit lazy, right? Because the gun's making it easier and they're kind of at the standard they want to be. I've just noticed that pattern. It's very easy for people to start getting lazy. Now, when I have a gun like this is totally unmodified M&P. When I'm shooting this to try to keep up with the same scores or with the same pace, it's not going to let me really get lazy. Like I can't get lazy with that. So that's why you'll notice a lot of people will train with a more plain gun. The other reason to train with a striker fired pistol, it wouldn't necessarily apply to this Kimber, but let's say I was trying to save wear on my 2011. So train with a polymer gun for a while to save the wear and tear on the 2011 because I know what's running, I know it's good. I'll train with this for a little bit and then I'll switch back to the 2011 before a big match. Like that is another strategy that sort of makes sense. It does sort of make sense to me. So there are some benefits to training with a striker fired gun over a 2011. I mean, it prevents you from getting lazy. You can save wear and tear on the other gun. It makes things a little bit harder. I don't think any of that's a bad thing. For most people, none of this really applies because they're just going to get one gun and train with it. But if you have enough money for multiple guns, I mean, I guess I could explain why oftentimes people will choose not to train with their race gun.